So the Seahawks are heading into a bye week. On a positive note, they crushed the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. So is this the win they needed to turn the season around? Our friend Terry Holloman breaks it all down with former Seahawk Cliff Averill.
Cliff, this game, the Seahawks versus the Jaguars, was a must-win for the Hawks. They desperately needed one. They haven't had a win in Ludum Stadium in so long, and it was a big-time game. They delivered big time. Did the Seahawks play that well, or are the Jags just a bad team?
First off, we're not even used to the hearing that they haven't won at home in forever. Sounds crazy, but they played well. I think they played really well. They played against a team that they were supposed to beat, and they went out there and executed. And I think that shows growth for the team. I think that shows that they can go out and beat the team that they're supposed to beat. Now, once the competition picks up a little bit, they'll be ready and they'll understand what it takes to be able to win some ball games.
And plus, it's the NFL, right? Anybody can win on any given Sundays, and, the competition is always there.
No doubt, no doubt. There's no free Sundays. There's no free lunch in the NFL. Everybody's good, and you got to bring your A game every week.
Geno Smith, he had his best game since taking over for Russell Wilson. At one point in the first half, he was 14 out of 15 completions. It was broke the record for the season for most consecutive completions. What do you make of Geno Smith at this point, and what clicked for him?
In my opinion, I think Geno actually has been playing some solid ball. It's been those last possessions that, the end of the game, we need to go back down and score or whatever. Like, those possessions are what kind of puts a cloud over his head, because we know Russell Wilson's a great finisher, right? And so that was the comparison. But overall, though, I think Geno's been playing well. This game in particular, he goes 20 for 24, has 195 yards, and his QB rating was 128 or something like that, which is extremely impressive. And I think the biggest thing that played a role in that is they got the ball to their playmakers early and often, right? They were getting the ball to Tyler Lockett. They were getting the ball to DK, so they were making plays early, and that allowed they didn't apply pressure at the end of the game, where obviously, he hasn't been able to close. So they got off to a great start.
Now, on the flip side of that, the defense, they showed pretty good this weekend. 309 yards they gave up to the Jaguars. They played well. Do you think that the key to this season, the rest of the season for the Seahawks, is that defense continuing to develop?
Yes. I think the defense has to continue to keep elevating, but turnovers, although it was just one, I believe, it was just one, just being able to be in the positive on the turnover ratio, and that was always something Coach Carroll used to harp to us. We have to win the turnover battle. In the games that you win the turnover battle, you have a lot of success. I want to say the Seahawks are, it's like 78 or something like that to 10 or something whenever they win the turnover battle. So if they can continue to keep finding ways to get turnovers, and hats off to Diggs, by the way, one of the only players in the last 5 years that have at least 3 interceptions every season, that obviously plays a big role. But they have to just continue to keep playing some sound football, not giving up touchdowns and getting turnovers, and I think we'll be happy with the results of those games.
You're right. Diggs has been playing phenomenal this season, and he's been playing well for the last couple of seasons. Now, the NFL has long been known as the no fun league. They don't want the guys to have any fun out there. DK Metcalf was no exception. We saw he got a penalty in the game for hugging the goalpost. Now, the Seahawks have had some famous choreographed celebrations in the past, but what was different about DK hugging the goalpost?
Yeah, man, the NFL is tripping. That's what they're doing right now, man. They trying to. I mean, guys, it's so hard to score. It's so hard to get sacks. It's so hard to do all these things. That's why guys go crazy when they score. And I guess they'll say DK used a prop or something like that. But overall, though, let that man live, man. He just scored. He just scored a bomb. He just scored. Made a big play for his team. Let him enjoy it. It didn't affect anything. It wasn't taunting. It wasn't anything. Let that man have some fun after he puts up. Does something spectacular for his team.
And it's just hugs, man. It's just hugs. I think we would want more, hugs, than that in football in the world today. Anyways, before we get off on the hugs, man, before we get out of here real quick, the Seahawks still have a little bit of time in this season to make a playoff run. Do you think they have the skills and the things that in place to maybe make a run for the playoffs?
I do. I think collectively, they're finding their way. The defense is playing a lot better than they were week 1 and week 2. They're getting those turnovers that we were just talking about. Our offense, I think, can continue to keep making some strides, but then you get your leader back and we know what he can do. We know he can go out and win some ball games. So to me, I think they have a chance. They have to win their divisional games. They have to find a way to win those games. But if they win 7 out of the next 9, we're talking about a 10-7 season. You know what I mean? That's a different ball game. It's completely different from how we were feeling last week to right now.
All right, let's keep those positive vibes. Go Hawks!